Guys, thanks for joining me. It's Lori again. How are you today? It's a beautiful fall day in New Hampshire. I hope it is wherever you are. I just had a little birdie come up. You didn't see that, but a little birdie just came right up next to me. So, what I want to talk to you today is decisions. Have you ever made a decision and then found out later that it was absolutely the wrong decision and you thought, how did I do that? How did I do that? It felt so right at the time. Maybe it was a relationship. Maybe you even totally relocated, or maybe it was a job choice, whatever. Maybe it was a decision you had within your family. Maybe it was a decision about treatment for medical issues or whatever. I know that one time I made a horrible decision. I really believe that I was listening to the voice of God, and I ended up in, long story short, I ended up in this relationship. What it turned out to be is I was probably really lonely and in a really bad place in my life, but I was convinced that I was supposed to do this. It was a spiritual thing. You know what? Honestly, this is crazy, but I did not find this man attractive physically at all. In fact, and if he ever watched this, I apologize, but in fact, it was kind of repulsive. That's how unattracted I was. And I didn't find him attractive intellectually. We couldn't have conversations in depth because we just couldn't. He just wasn't on the same level. Spiritually, I did not find him attractive. He wasn't on the same level. But I was absolutely convinced that this was something I was supposed to do. I didn't know why. I really didn't know why, but I felt called to do it, and I did it. And I prayed and prayed and prayed throughout the whole relationship that I would be released from it. The way it ended too was he ended up ending it, and he was horrible, absolutely horrible. Made up a bunch of lies, talked very vicious to me, and I thought, wow, isn't that funny? And I don't think he ever knew how I really felt. But I really did feel drawn, and I thought afterwards, I said, okay, how could I fall into such a horrible decision when I really thought that I was doing something right? Well, I was fooled. I was absolutely fooled. And that's what I want to talk about today with you, making right decisions for us. Because if we make the right decisions, we're not going to ever regret them, right? Now, we're human. We're going to make mistakes. I mean, it's going to happen. There's no way that we're not going to make mistakes. But if we follow a few simple guidelines, we'll be less likely to make those mistakes, less likely to live in regret. Sometimes the regrets, that story I just told you is actually kind of funny. I recovered very quickly. No harm, no foul, right? But it could have been a lot worse, right? Some of the decisions we make, we realize later that it was a life-changing decision or something of that effect. So how do you make a right decision? How do you know you're making the right decision? Well, the best way to do it is to, first of all, check your motives. Okay, what are your motives? Are you doing this for your own gain? Does it help another person? Does it coincide with what's right, with what's holy? I'm not saying, is it a holy act? I'm not saying that everything we do is 100% pure. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying, what are your motives? Are you doing it for selfish reasons? Are you doing it out of spite? Are you doing it out of resentment? Are you doing it out of loneliness? Are you doing it out of some kind of need that you need to fulfill? Check your motives. If your motives are pure, if you're doing it, you can do things for yourself. There's nothing wrong with that. But are the ultimate motives right? So if you find, let's just use a relationship, for example. If you discover you're in this relationship and it's right for you and it feels right for you, there's nothing wrong with that. First of all, are you hurting anybody else by doing it? If no, okay, there's nothing wrong with that. Secondly, why are you doing it? So you're doing it for yourself, but do you not really care for this person, but you're so lonely that you're like, okay, this is good? So check your motives first and foremost. Secondly, what is it going to benefit not only you, but others around you? Is it going to benefit other people? Is it going to benefit you? And how so? And next, be still. okay? This is the hard part because I think we make decisions sometimes, like me, thinking I was doing it. I checked my motives. My motives were good. I mean, if I told you the whole story, it would be obvious why it was wrong, but I'm not going to get into that. Um, but then there's other decisions where, maybe the doors are opening quickly for you. You have an opportunity and it's like door after door after door is opening. So you're like, okay, this must be right. It must be God opening the doors for me or the universe opening the doors for me. But then you find out that it's all wrong. Well, sometimes what happens, this is why the quote unquote law of attraction is not good. If you're only working it without any kind of spiritual backing, any kind of relationship with God, because the law of attraction is going to work for you even without a relationship for God, because it's a law that he put into place, just like gravity is going to work for you whether you believe in it or not. However, if our motives are not pure, and if we're not following our path and we're not at our highest vibration, or if we're doing it out of, if we're being fooled, like for instance, you go to get this new job and every door opens for you, it's just great, and you've been working the law of attraction, but you haven't checked your motives and you're not listening, you're not being still. We have to take that time to be still. Not only still, go shut off your TV, shut off your phone, go somewhere where there's nobody around and you won't be bothered for at least, as long as you can, even if it's only 5 minutes. Go do that. That's on our part. That's being still and quiet on our part. Now you also want to still and quiet your soul. How do you do that? How do you do that when your mind is going crazy, when you need to make a quick decision and you're not sure and you've got all this worry surrounding, or maybe, you need to make a fast decision because you need the results immediately, or, there's usually chaos around it when we make mistakes. So how do you still your soul? You can shut off the TV. You can make sure you're absolutely quiet. You can go hide in a closet. But if your mind is racing, you are not quiet. So how do you still your soul? How do you still your soul? What you do is you go to that quiet place. First, do what you can, eliminate all noise or whatever. Get yourself alone and in a private place. Next, take some deep breaths. Remember we talked about raising our vibration? Take some deep breaths. In and out, slow down that heart rate, slow it right down. Even if you're outside in your car, in a closet, wherever you're hiding, quiet, deep breaths, slow that heart rate down. Now your heart rate is slowed down. Raise your vibration up. Remember we talked about, I like to do it with my hand, just raise it. Raise it, raise it, raise it, raise it, raise it, raise it, raise it. Bring it down, bring it down, bring it down. Raise it up. Bring it down, bring it down, bring it down. This is going to lower your heart rate. It's going to slow you down. Now your mind's still going to be going crazy. So every negative thought that pops in there, every worry, every fear, if you're trying to make a decision and you go and flip-flop back and forth in your mind, stop it. Stop those thoughts. And how do you stop those thoughts? You stop them by saying aloud a word, a positive word. You can even say, I stop these thoughts because they don't benefit me. And say it 5, 6, 7 times if you have to. But each time you speak aloud, you're stopping that thought at least for a moment. Okay? So keep breathing, speak aloud, and then say something to the effect of, I listen to the voice of God. I make the right decision now. I will not act, I will not move until I hear the voice of God. Keep breathing, keep staying calm. Don't make it up yourself, don't force it. Even if you don't hear anything at the time, walk away. That's the next step. Let it go. Have you ever noticed that the more you hang on to something, the more it evades you? I did a video on how we repulse the things we want. We actually keep them away from us by holding on so tightly. If you want someone to call and you keep saying, oh, when is he going to call? When is he going to call? And you keep checking your phone. Is this phone working? I haven't heard from him. What's going on? You're actually creating blocks to that person contacting you. Now, that person might not know that. There might be something that happens and they go to call you and they get busy. They get sidetracked. You're actually putting that energy out there. Believe it or not, you're putting that energy out there. So what you need to do is let it go. So if there's something you need to let go of, I cannot make this decision right now. I'm too worked up with worry and fear. I take that worry and fear. I like to picture like a balloon, like either a hot air balloon, real big one, if you get a lot of stuff, or a helium balloon. Take that worry, take that fear, take that doubt, take that decision, wrap it up, throw it in the balloon, and let it go. Deep breathe. I raise my vibration to the highest level. I am at the highest spiritual level that I can be at. And if these words don't resonate with you, find words that do. You need to believe what you're saying, and you need to truthfully let it go. Let's say this, you're waiting for someone to call, okay? You really, really, really want this person to call. You really want to work this out or whatever it is. Well, you can try putting it out there telepathically to them. But the biggest thing, like I said, is get yourself still and let it go. So you can say, you can put in the balloon, or what I like to do is say to myself, so if he or she doesn't call me, they don't call me. What's going to matter in 100 years? It's going to hurt my feelings? Yeah, but I'll get over it. I really, really want them to call, but it's not going to kill me if they don't, even though it might feel like they will. So you know what? I'm leaving this in your hands. And if you are sure that this person's supposed to be in your life, say something like, I'm leaving this in your hands, whatever the blocks are. If I'm creating them by worrying, I let that go now. I let go of the fear, the doubt. This person will call, and you put it in that balloon, and you let it go. Watch it fly away in your mind's eye. When you're done, whether you got your answer or not, you might get your answer right away. You might hear this. And you know what? If it's the right answer, it's more than, oh, I think that's the right answer. I think I got the answer. You know it. You know it in your heart. Even if it defies all logic. God will never go against his own word, but he does go against our logic. So even if it defies all logic, go for it. That's your answer. But if you don't get your answer at that time, you've let it go, walk away, stay calm, stay still. You can, go about your business and turn back on the TV or hook back up with the kids or work or whatever it is. But stay calm in the soul. Another way to stay calm in the soul, especially when you go back about your life, is to remember past experiences where it did all work out. Don't remember, your mind, the flesh and the enemy is going to try to make you believe, remember all those times it didn't work out. Remember all the bad things you did. Remember all the poor choices you made. Forget about it. Drop that. You don't need that. That's all garbage. We've let that go already. Remember? What you want to do is you want to remember when things did come together, when the impossible seemed to come together. Now, you might say, that's never happened to me. Think about it. It has. There have been times when you thought things wouldn't work out and they did. When it seems like something was just gifted to you, when the world was about to end and, your personal world was about to end, and then boom, somebody shows up in your life and everything changes. Or, you get that perfect job, or whatever the case may be. Or you were so worried about something as simple as paying a bill. And then boom, there it was. You called them up and they made an arrangement with you. See, we tend to think, let's use a bill, for example. It needs to be paid. It needs to be paid today. There's no way, whatever. And we only think about what we know. So I have to have that money. When in actuality, you don't want the money, you want to pay the bill. So what you do is you put it aside, you put it out there. I want this situation resolved. And leave it to God. Now, if you're not a believer in God, okay, you're going to work the law of attraction, it's still going to work for you. You're going to work universal laws, they're still going to work for you. But what you'll find is the more that you do work these and they do come to pass, the more you will come to believe in God. If you need help with that, if you're confused about God, if bad things have happened in your life and you're thinking, if there's really a God, why did this happen? Or if you're feeling alone and you're not sure if God's there for you, or if you're just not sure if he's real, don't hesitate to contact me or contact somebody else. to talk about this. I'm here for you. No judgment, nothing. I'm here for you. I want to talk to you about it. Okay? But aside from that, the stillness, the listening. See, you can't listen if you're worried and all frazzled. You can't hear. Nobody can. Nobody can. Even if you look at all the great people in the past, when they were worried and frazzled, they made horrible mistakes. Look at Samson and Delilah. Look at Samson and Delilah. Oh my goodness. He let her get the best of him, right? Because he wasn't still. He wasn't listening. So check your motives. Be still. Quiet everything. Quiet your soul and let it go. You'll make the right decisions. You won't live in regret. And you know what? For those decisions where you have made mistakes, or even if you've willfully made the wrong decision, let it go. Let it go. Don't let it haunt you. Guilt and remorse have one purpose, and that's one purpose is to actually come to the truth. Okay? Other than that, it serves no purpose other than to use against you. I hope this video helped you. Please leave me a comment or contact me if you need some help, reaching newer spiritual heights. I'll definitely be there for you. But for right now, you can achieve what you want to achieve. Don't let the world put you down. One more thing. I know this video has been long, but one more thing. The world will kick you when you're down. They will kick you when you're down. You could be the nicest person in the world. You could be helping people all the time. You could never say a bad word about anybody, and you hit hard times. Your child takes his own life. That's a bad one. You are homeless. You are caught up in a bad situation where you're in an abusive relationship, and the world looks down upon you. That doesn't happen with God. He's not going to look down upon you. You still are who you are. Think about it. A crumpled up $20 bill is still worth $20. You're worth something. You are worth more than you know. Don't ever, ever let anybody make you feel different. The world will kick you when you're down. God won't, and I won't. So if you need help, please reach out. No matter where you are, thank God for technology. We can connect. All right, take care and be happy with your decisions. All right, have a great day.